He's got lines here and there that I dig, but the problem is only about 20% of them, and he just keeps talking.
Yeah.
And the performance is good. It's right off the page, but the problem is I don't like Clown in the comics either.
Hmm.
Like I tolerate him because it's part of the whole trappings of it, and he doesn't overstay his welcome usually in an issue the way he does in this. I mean, he does talk for like pages on end sometimes, but he doesn't feel like he's around as much as he is here, where he just won't get off the screen. And I don't mean to come at it like a fanboy, but when I have to constantly listen to vulgar, unfunny clown speech, it's difficult not to wish we had like one other, uh, classic early Spawn character in this movie, like Overkill or
Cygor.
or Sam and
Now
Twitch. I mean, not even just villains. Like, it's really unfortunate that we couldn't have had a cop presence in this movie.
Yeah, no, cut the Mambolja stuff and include the cop aspect.
The big reason I said earlier that I don't know if I buy just how different Michael J. White claims that movie was, or that it was that much better. I mean, I trust him when he says he was shocked by how different it was, sure, but like, how much more could they have shot? It was a 63-day shoot, is all it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
And they must have done some reshooting.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of that they had, if they did. But the thing is, he says that in the theater, or when the movie was released and he watched the final cut, he was shocked by the thing at the end when Spawn pulls the detonator, the bomb, out of Win, because that's just special effects used with unrelated footage they had already. And the director talks about it too in his commentary, but he's like really proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to his credit, there's a lot of things that he says didn't turn out as well as he was hoping they would, and he does not think it's a perfect movie. So I don't mean to say that he's real conceited about it, but I just wish they got somebody that cared a little bit more about story. I mean, it's kind of like a Mark Steven Johnson situation, but even less competent.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of that again.
I was just thinking, because you were saying about Clown, like you wish there was somebody else. You could have had the homeless people. We got none of them.
Well, and with all those characters, the director in this commentary just keeps saying over and over again, I wish we had time for this, and we just didn't. I'm like, your movie is an hour 37.
Mm-hmm. Well, the issue is that they approached everything from the wrong perspective.
Yeah.
So it made it way harder to include things.
Well, that's true, because they're thinking it's got to be a popcorn, almost like family action movie. Oh, speaking of that was the theory I started talking about earlier that I didn't get to, Austin. Tell me what you think about this. Mm-hmm. Is the reason there was so much censorship from the studio and possibly the ratings board, I'm not sure, because of the subject matter in the first place? So they're like, the fact in 1997, the fact that you're putting out what is supposed to be ostensibly a PG-13 movie about hell, about a man back from hell, already nearly gets you to an R place. So when you start putting in anything remotely vulgar or violent after that, we have to start axing really hard, because your subject matter is already turning off parents.
See, I would want to say hopefully not, but I also can't say that for certain. Like maybe that is a part of it.
It's just like being 13 when this came out and liking Spawn at the time myself and really wanting to see this. That was very much in the air. The idea that like anything with like demonic imagery.
We're right in the heart of that with video games.
Yeah.
Are we not? Like, is this not around like Mortal Kombat and stuff?
It's just after that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's already happened.
We're like it's 3 or 4 years after that, and so you're sorry, you have these like moral arbiter Christian parents primarily, that are like, we need to keep this kind of filth away from our kids. You didn't see PG-13 stuff about the subject matter very often.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder if that by itself made it difficult to get past censors and a ratings board.
That is possible.
It sounds crazy now, but... And that started changing real hard even just a few years after this.
Yeah, because this is like right between, like I said, like the Mortal Kombat censorship stuff and like the Grand Theft Auto ones.
But like,
so we're like deep in the middle of that stuff.
When I first saw this, I liked it better than I do now. I still wasn't super impressed with it, but it did still feel edgy enough to be kind of something I felt like I wasn't supposed to be watching. Like, that's how little of this kind of thing I saw at 13.
Mm-hmm. But I also think you could do the PG-13 action.
This green screen with Cagliostro makes the Marvel movies look like everyone is always really there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think you can do the PG-13 action thing, but also just restructure it better. Like, I don't even think that's part of the issue.
No, absolutely. I do too.
Like, I would cut all of the hell stuff. I would also start with him being spawned and, like, have his origin kind of come to him through the movie.
Yeah.
And then you can use that cut time to put it elsewhere. Like, you could do the homeless characters. You could also maybe, and you're the Spawn guy, so like, you tell me what you think.
Oh
like,
God, don't say that.
You could maybe restructure it. Like, you could have overt kill Spawn maybe.
Why not?
And so you have him instead of Priest.
Why not? What a great idea.
Or you could have Cygor kill Spawn, which is preferable.
And you can still have, and you could have him work for Win.
Mm-hmm.
And have Win order his death for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. No, that is like the type of streamlining that I don't think any of us would be that mad about.
No, you could do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Cap, imagine if Al Simmons was killed by his head shooting off.
Yeah, I know, I had that thought too. For anybody that doesn't know what he's talking about, that was an action figure thing that I just couldn't stop making fun of in Spawn Year. And there's a overkill figure that, or not an overkill figure, but there's a vehicle or something that actually comes with a comic that shows his head flying off in a panel. It's amazing.
Yeah, then maybe you have Clown kind of more in the background, where you're kind of setting up stuff with him, but you're not going to go full all the way with it yet.
Yeah. Well, with the exception of maybe the thing with the kid and the dog, I would make the argument that if you showed somebody just this sequence from start to finish, like Clown taunting taunting Spawn and then transforming into Violator and that whole fight, most people would expect the rest of this is probably a better movie.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
From the beginning of this scene, it looks more stylized, it looks more gothic, I like the lighting, I like the set, like, all the choices here are right for a Spawn adaptation. Great. Say again?
The animatronic for Violator looks great.
Yeah. And Clown is kind of menacing before he turns into Violator. Like, I'm going to tear you to pieces, million it to every state. That sounds like something he would say in the comics. Like, everything about this feels like a better adaptation than the rest of the movie.